Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a fall eyeshadow makeup tutorial, and I searched far and wide to try to pick the best eyeshadow palette that I felt encompassed fall. And what I learned really quickly is people think of fall eyeshadow very differently. Some people think they reach for, your typical leave colors. They reach for the golds or the bronzes or the reds or the oranges. I found a lot of people on YouTube doing fall eyeshadow tutorials looking at, more cool tones. They say, well, I wear cool tones in the fall, and I wanted to look at that. I also saw people looking at more plums. So I wanted to determine what fall meant to me and what eyeshadows that I gravitate towards in fall and what eyeshadow palette kind of encompassed that. But I also wanted to think about fall 2020 and say, all right, well, more importantly than just what are fall colors and what do I gravitate towards, I kind of wanted to be, I don't want to say on trend, but I thought, well, what do I think of when I think of this fall specifically? And it made me think of the fact that my daughter and I always go back to school shopping. Now, obviously, that looked a little different this year because school looked a little different this year as well. But I'm always amazed at some of the trends I see. For example, I remember 2 years ago, my daughter picked up a pair of acid wash jeans, and I was just like, my head exploded. I was like, oh, no, put those down. But even last year, she was really into this store called Justice, and she was looking through an ad and she said, oh, I love this. And it was a girl with a plaid shirt on, high-waisted jeans, and this decorative like chain that went around the loop of one of her jeans. And I stared at the picture for a second and I said, hold up. And I left the room for a second and I came back with a photo album and I turned to a page from me from circa 1993 of wearing pretty much the exact same outfit, plaid shirt, high-waisted jeans, except the chain that I had connected to a wallet. So it wasn't just decorative. So, it just goes to show everything comes back. Well, this fall, what I kept seeing over and over again was camo. And my daughter said it best. She said, Mom, camo is everything. And, she wanted camo shirts and camo hoodies and camo sweatpants, because that also seems to be a huge hot trend this year, sweatpants. But I thought, wow, that's really interesting. Because, obviously camo's been around forever, but I saw camo in every color, every manifestation. It was super interesting. And so today I wore my camo shirt that I got at Old Navy in solidarity. And when I started looking at eyeshadow palettes, I started thinking about that. And you know what? I saw this palette online and I said, this is it. When I think of fall 2020, this is what I think of. And this is from Dose of Colors. This is their cutting edge palette. This came out, probably end of summer. And I saw it and I was hooked. I was like, this is my spirit animal. These colors are just, oh, you guys, look at these colors. You've got your army green here. You've got this kind of split pea soup thing happening, going right here. My first house, actually, this is the color pretty much that I painted my living room. And my husband was just like, I don't know, Ange, I don't know. And I was like, it'll be beautiful, it'll work. And it was quite beautiful. Actually, we've got this burnt orange, and then we've got these two shimmers, this gold shimmer and this green shimmer. And I just figured, hey, let's play with this today and see if we can come up with a great fall look. Now, I have never used Dose of Colors eyeshadow formula before. I know they have plenty of other palettes, but I've never used it before. I love their liquid lipsticks. I think they have the best liquid lipstick formula, maybe besides Ofra. They're my favorite, not sticky at all. So I like the brand. I've just, never tried their eyeshadow palette, so we'll have to see. I've got my face on. I don't have any lips on or anything on my eyes except some eyeshadow primer. I used the Urban Decay, the OG of eyeshadow primers today. I find that I have to use an eyeshadow primer or my eyeshadow will not stay. So we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna get my hair up here and I just get it on my face. And then I'm gonna bring you in a little closer so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I brought you in a little closer, nice up close and personal. And I figure, I start looking at this palette and I'll say, I think I'm gonna start with this color over here. This is called Edgy. And I think I'm gonna put this all over my lid and then kind of bring it up into my crease. So I am using an E25 Sigma E25 blending brush to do this. And we're just gonna go ahead and start. Now I'm hoping this doesn't have a huge amount of fallout just because I put my face on. A lot of times when I use a new eyeshadow palette, I will put my eyeshadow on first and then do my face. So we'll see what happens. You know, I could be having split pea soup down my eyes, but you know, it's all good. So we're gonna go ahead, like I said, I'm gonna put this on my lid and kind of work that into the crease, and I'm just kind of building up. Now I have partially hooded eyes, so I definitely kind of want to bring this color, kind of rub it all out and kind of bring it a little higher, just so I'm kind of doing, wow, this is super pigmented, y'all. This is really pretty. Now, if this is not done the right way, I can imagine I would look like I have a black eye, so definitely want to make sure I pay attention. You know, you kind of tap your brush. I'm gonna put a little on my lid and then kind of work that color into the crease here. All right, now I think I want to go pretty dark in this crease, so I'm going to deepen up that crease, and I think I'm going to use this color here. This is called Cameo, this kind of army green, and I am going to reach for another blending brush. This is the E27 by Sigma. This is their detail blending brush, just so I can have a little bit more control where I put this darker color. And I am going to start, you know, in that kind of outer V and work it up a little bit. I'm just trying to create some depth into that crease, and I'll kind of bring it over to the middle of my eye, kind of right in the middle there is where I'm stopping, making sure I bring it down, and then kind of using circular motions to make sure I get up onto that, almost to the brow bone, but not completely to the brow bone. That looks really pretty. Okay, let's do the other side. Again, tapping off the excess so I don't end up with a huge swath of green on my eye. You always want to start where you want the most pigment. So I'm going to start right deep into that crease and work my way, but you always want to start where you want the most pigment. I've made that mistake many a time where I started where I wanted the least amount of pigment, and then I had a big like statement of color right in that area that I was trying to blend out, and then you have to sit there forever trying to blend it out. Now, where you guys live, do you have any special fall, you know, plans? You know, where I live in the Midwest, fall is all about the cider mill. It's all about apple picking. It's cider and donuts. And there's nothing better than getting these warm donuts at the cider mill and getting like a gallon or a half gallon of cider. The only problem, of course, is the bees. And my daughter every year, because she's terrified of bees, is like, can we go to a cider mill without bees? And I'm always like, well, kid, bees kind of come with the territory of apple cider. So, but that's her biggest wish. She wants a cider mill with no bees. And, you know, we're still on the lookout for that. All right, now I think I want to reach for this burnt orange. This is called Sundown. This is so pretty. And I think I'm going to use it just to kind of darken up that crease a little bit. Now I'm going to be really careful with this color because I already can tell this is going to be pretty pigmented. And I'm using my Sigma E42. This is a precision firm blender. And again, I'm going to put that right in that outer V, right in there. I just want to kind of create some depth. And I think I'm going to put this on my lower lash line, so I want to make sure I'm connecting it to the top. So again, Now, obviously you can go bolder than this. Don't get me wrong, I love bold eyeshadow, but I also, you know, have to go to the grocery store and, and everything. So I tend to, you know, I don't go as dark as I could, but don't get me wrong, that does not mean I don't want to make a statement. I absolutely want to make a statement because I love eyeshadow. That's why I'm here. I am not the best blender in the world, but you know, the key is just we keep blending, blending, blending so that there are no harsh lines that we're dealing with. All right, let's see if this is equal. I went a little bit farther in on the left side, so I'm just making sure these are pretty equal. God, that looks so pretty, you guys. Oh, this is everything about fall to me. All right, so now let's talk about my lid. We could reach for either of these shimmers. We could reach for this green one. This is called Rule Breaker, or we could reach for this kind of gold shimmer, which is called Top It Off. I think I'm going to reach for the gold. I'm a little worried that if I put that green shimmer on my lid, it's going to make everything super, super dark. And I tend to like lighter colors on my lid. Now, you're probably like, Angie, you're being a baby. You know, you can totally put that dark green on your eye. But I think I'm going to reach for this gold. Okay, now you can absolutely do this with a wet brush, meaning you can spray your brush with some setting spray. You can absolutely use a dry brush. I reached for the E55. This is an eye shading brush from Sigma. Or you can also use your finger. And a lot of shimmers, they will recommend you use your finger. Now, my problem is, I don't know if you can see this, but I have very fat, stubby fingers. So trying to sometimes put those on my lid, I don't feel like I have the best control. I feel like I end up with glitter like down in my, you know, down here. So I tend to like using brushes. Now that is not always the case, but especially with the new eyeshadow palette, I don't know how these shimmers are gonna go. I'm gonna use a brush and we'll see what kind of pigmentation I get with a dry brush. If I have to switch gears, I can. Again, I'm tapping off the excess on my brush and we're gonna just put that starting at the inner corner on my lid and kind of moving outward. I don't want to go all the way across my lid to the outer V because I spent so much time trying to darken that up. Okay, this is pretty pigmented, y'all. So I don't think I'm going to have to worry about, I don't think I'll have to worry about doing that. Now I am getting a little bit of fallout, but nothing crazy. You know, nothing crazy, which is great because like I said, I put all my makeup on, so I was hoping we weren't going to get a lot of fallout. Okay, let's try the other side. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Okay. What do you think, y'all? I think this eyeshadow palette is amazing. I am so thrilled with this formula. I am so thrilled with these colors. Okay, let's finish this all off. And then on the lower lid, so I'm not going to use eyeliner today. So I'm going to use my eyeshadow as my eyeliner. And I think I'm going to reach again for this cameo color, which is that, you know, that split pea color. And I'm going to take a smudge brush. Again, this is a Sigma. This is their E21 smudge brush. And I'm going to bring that down my lower lid. I'm going to start on the outer portion. And then, oh, that's nice. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye. You know what? I'm going to rub this same brush off on my arm here. So, and I think I'm going to go into that burnt orange, that sundown color, and I think I'm going to also put that on my lower lash line. Now, I know some people who will take these colors really low on their lower lash line, but I just don't like how that looks. My big goal here is just I want to connect this color to this outer V because I did such a nice job of bringing that outer V up. So we're going to do that and then do the other side. So Last thing I want to do is just take a really good blending brush. This is the Sigma E38 Diffuse Crease. Now, I love Sigma brushes, if you've noticed, but I also have MAC brushes. I have EcoTools brushes. I have Morphe brushes. As much as I'm a big Sigma fan, I'm a big MAC fan, there are a lot of very affordable brushes on the market, and they do a great job as well. So I just happened to reach for my Sigma brushes today because I rotate them, and so I have a lot of my other brushes that are getting cleaned right now. So it's all Sigma all the time today, apparently. Sorry, I had to let my dog out because my mom got here, and my mom always gives her a treat. So God forbid she stays in this room. So my dog, she's an old girl. She just turned 10, and she sleeps probably, you know, she's like a cat. She sleeps like 18 hours a day, but my mom gets here and it's like, oh, there's going to be treats involved. So it's the most energy she gets all the time. So I'm going to stick some mascara on. I just grabbed the Milk Makeup Kush mascara. This is a really nice mascara. I just grabbed one of them because obviously, you know, we're focusing on our eyeshadow today, but all right, and to finish up this look, I am gonna just take a brush and see if I can deal with any fallout. That looks really good. And then finally, let's do some lips. So I figure if I'm gonna do a pretty bold eyeshadow look, I figure I would choose a neutral lip. So I just grabbed two products. This is lip liner. This is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner. Don't get me wrong, I love high-end lip liners. I love MAC lip liners. I love Charlotte Tilbury lip liners. But this Milani lip liner is honestly as good as any of those. This is in the shade All Natural, because again, I figure we'll do an all natural lip. We picked up a bunch of pumpkins yesterday, and my kids wanted ugly pumpkins. So there was this kind of roadside pumpkin patch, and they had all ugly pumpkins. And my kids were like, I want an ugly pumpkin. So my daughter ended up with a pink pumpkin, which I've never seen before. And then my son ended up with this pumpkin that's got like knobs all over it. And I remember being a kid, always like hating the ugly pumpkins, but apparently they're very cool right now. And so, you know, they are just in love with their pumpkins. And frankly, they were inexpensive because, you know, they're not beautiful and orange. My husband got a more traditional long pumpkin. He wants to make Frankenstein, but I just thought it was hilarious that my kids were like, I want this pink pumpkin and I want this pumpkin with all these knobs on it. So, you know, it's just kind of, again, trends change, but it was pretty cool. So I kind of filled in my lips a little bit with this lip liner. And then I picked up, this is from Maybelline. This is their Color Sensational. Now I love the Maybelline lip crayons, but I had never tried a bullet lipstick. So this is in the color Truffle Tease. I'm just, you know, basically looking for the best nude. All right, all right, you guys. So I kind of like how this turned out. I'm gonna take these clips out of my hair. You know, I put them on so that we would be able to kind of see. All right, so this is the finished look. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you have a happy fall. I hope you're doing fun things with your family, whether it's pumpkin picking or hay rides or cider and donuts, or however you celebrate fall in your neck of the woods. So if you like this content, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I would love to hear your comments below. Have you tried this eyeshadow palette? What's your thought process when you think of fall eye looks? What are the colors you reach for? I just love hearing everyone's opinions. So I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye.